Gail? Gail Hardigan has been a member of Park City Toastmasters since 2011. She has a wonderful daughter that is at the U of U. She has been slowly progressing through the Competent Communicators Manual for some time due to the nervousness of speaking. Please welcome Gail.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm guilty, and I'm betting there are others in this room that are guilty too. I have, for the last 40-something years, lived a somewhat chaotic, fast-paced life, jamming in every possible experience I could, sometimes layering experience after experience, as I shift into a perpetual motion towards a goal that I thought was success, and within equal happiness. It didn't equal that exactly. And I'm going to share with you the story today about why I put the brakes on my fast-paced human life. And I slammed on the brakes recently. So by 24, let's start from the beginning. By 24, I had overcome more than my fair amount of adversity. I'd grown up in a really poor home, at times staying in homeless shelters. I had an alcoholic father. I wasn't expected to go to college. I decided to go to college. And by the time that I was 24, I had now been married, had a 2-year-old in tow, a mortgage, and I didn't want to waste a minute towards that goal of success. So, as I left college, I landed a really great job with Domino's Pizza in marketing. And that was the foundation of my career. And I was able to propel myself forward by starting at Domino's Pizza and have an amazing career that followed for the next few years. So by the time that I was 39, I had successfully raised my daughter, and she successfully went off to college, and I was an empty nester. I had had 2 marriages, and I had a job making over 6 figures, which was pretty dang good for a girl from the ghetto. And I was working for Big Oil, and I was just extremely, extremely stressed. I was running around the country 42 weeks out of the year, flying from one location. I'd be in Tulsa one day, I'd be in, Southern California the next, staying in hotel rooms every night, not knowing where my home was, and not having that foundation of having a home anymore because I was just moving at this quick and fast pace. I found myself gasping for air, and I couldn't breathe anymore. Literally couldn't breathe because I was so overwhelmed by the pressure and the stress that I had created in my life by just trying to be successful and trying to move forward and trying to do everything constantly all of the time. So this is what I did. I slammed on the brakes because I knew I wasn't happy, and I knew I needed to shift to a place of happiness. So the number one thing I did was I eliminated stress. I quit my high-powered job. Yeah, and that sounds really crazy when we're in an economy that we are, and you have a good salary, and you have a pension. Who has a pension anymore? And I quit it. I left. I walked away. And I felt really good. I felt like a big stress had been left off my shoulders. Then I began to change my perspective on success. Maybe success wasn't having that high-powered career. Maybe that wasn't the thing that defined me anymore. And I started to define myself through exercising and eating healthy and nurturing the friendships that I didn't have time to nurture before. I, for the first time in my life, began to enjoy silence. And that might sound crazy to some people, but I didn't really know what silence was until this moment. And silence and being quiet and reflecting on the things that make you happy and who you are was finally something that I cherished. I grew up in a family of 7 children, the oldest of 7. So even the bathroom wasn't a haven. The fourth thing that I did was I learned to say no. I was extremely helpful. Of course, growing up in a big family, you had to be somewhat helpful. I was so helpful all of the time. In fact, one of my bosses once told me, Stephanie, you're so freaking helpful. I always said yes to everything. Yes, I'll go out with you. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do that. I'll be on that board, and I'll volunteer here, and I'll watch your kid for you, and I'll watch your dog. I was overwhelmed with that. And so I said no. And I said only yes to the things that I was able to say yes to. Then, the fifth thing that I did was I began to start every day with one single question. What is going to make Gail happy? And that's how I formulate my day today, is I think, what's going to make me happy? Not what's going to make my daughter happy, what's going to make my friends happy, but what's going to make me happy. And I start my day that way, and I formulate it that way. In the book, Success Intelligence, Dr. Holden writes, over time I learned that success is not a race, it's a journey. I'm continuing down that journey today, and in learning to enjoy life so much more at a slower pace. Loving the moment that I live in today for the first time. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. And I'm so grateful that I've finally learned.